So I think for us, we started just focusing on micro enterprises. We're now moving into the Shire compliant SME space. So we do invoice financing and soon launching our own Shire compliant car dealer financing. But having said that, we are first looking to really establish ourselves in Malaysia. As Sam alluded to, majority of the P2P financing operators and ECF are focused on Klang Valley. No one is really looking outside of Klang Valley. And in fact, microLEAP was the first P2P financing operator to have a borrower or issuer in every single state of Malaysia. Okay. So we are actually focused on going outside. We want to help the small companies in Sabah, Sarawak get financing, Kelantan, Pahang, Terengganu, all those kind of places is really what we want to target. After that, we will go to, regionally looking at places where they want Shire compliant financing, Middle East or Indonesia and places like that.
Now, how about you, Sam? What do you see the outlook for the ECF industry now that the pandemic is over? Are you seeing a takeoff again, or what are your thoughts for you and the industry?
Right. So Brian, so 2 years back when we had the first ever lockdown MCO, I think all of us were a bit worried about the sudden change of not being able to go out, meet people, have physical sessions. And you know what? The last 2 years have been great. Everything has been online, but the numbers have picked up so much in the last 2 years. Now we're back to having physical sessions, and now people are now busy with their lives. They can't really spend a lot of time virtually talking to, listening to people pitch, right? So we've now gone back in a way that people are now trying to adjust what they were so used in the last 2 years to going back to what they were before. Now, if you ask me right now in 2022, since we've now gone back to what we knew of in 2019, the market seems to have been adjusting itself, right? From that last 2 years of just virtual sessions through either Zoom or Google Meet and so forth. So, so in terms of our own numbers at pitching, we've seen some adjustments here and there. People are getting used to go back, trying to balance this virtual plus physical, what are called sessions. And we've seen that not just at pitching, but also observing the entire market. I think the future do hold a positive, what are called, positively for ECF. What we need to do, and we've alluded this a couple of times, is really to enlarge the task of educating and creating awareness to the larger Malaysian population, and not just focus on the big cities within the west side of Malaysia. Moving forward at pitching, recently we just received the approval to actually list also Sharia compliant companies. So we will now be introducing Sharia companies on the platform. We were also given the approval to run the first ever secondary market for equity crowdfunding companies in Malaysia.
And that's very important, isn't it? Because so for the first time now, investors don't have to wait years for an exit. There's some element of liquidity for their ECF investment.
You know, Brian, I think that's a game changer and something that we've been wanting to do for the longest time. You're very correct that one of the major challenges for equity crowdfunding, especially for investors, is really the exit, comparable to what Tunku and the peers in P2P do. A short-term loan that is 3 to 6 months, investors get their money back plus some within that short period of time. Whereas for equity crowdfunding, it's more patient investing. And that's why we really want investors to know what they're getting themselves into. Having said that, after a year or 2 years, some investors do want to exit, but there is no way for them to exit. We have facilitated private deals behind the scene, Brian, but now with the secondary market, it will be more open, and I think we'll be able to attract not just people who want to sell, but also people who probably did not manage to invest in this particular company, but see them now improving, numbers are much more better, and they now may want to have access to that company. So we're looking forward to launch it sometime in September, October. So we're quite excited to see how that goes in terms of helping the equity crowdfunding ecosystem, what we call, develop much more.